Good morning, everyone!
Good morning!
This is the live version, just in case you don't think it's live or I'm not real. Okay? So today is an exciting day because I'm able to actually give a house away with no mortgage and all that kind of thing. Anyone excited by that?
Yes.
You don't look very excited to me? Yes. That's G's excited, I like it! Yes. My goodness, I'm overwhelmed with the enthusiasm for the house today. It's crushing me. It's crushing me, yeah? So today is also interesting because we're going to talk about some very new things that you probably never heard of before. And one of those things is cryptocurrency. Anyone heard of cryptocurrency? Yes. Okay, so things like Bitcoin. But this is quite an amazing thing that when you actually see it, you're not going to believe it because it's so amazing. So I'm going to share lots of stuff today. I'm also going to share how you can get on the property ladder, how you can create passive income for yourself. Anyone interested in learning this? And for the people that have seen me before, this is a brand new presentation, Sharon. So you don't have to be bored, it's okay. I'll keep you entertained. All right, so is everyone cool with that? Yeah. Okay, so who voted for Donald Trump if you're American? You did vote? Yeah. So as you know, right now, in the last few years, I think everyone can agree with me that there has been a trend where things have happened that nobody's expected to happen. So there's a trend of, I would say, an underlying anti-establishment mentality. Now this began really since the banks since the subprime crisis in 2008, with the property crisis where millions of people lost their homes around the world, including the UK, but mostly in America, because the banks lied and conned you into believing that you could get a mortgage and pay a low payment, you never get your house repossessed, and that was the opposite. So since then, really, the banks have not been trusted by the public. Social media has made people more educated and aware and transparent of actually what's going on. So since 2008, there's been a lot more crowdfunding. Has anyone noticed, like Kickstarter, Funding Circle, and crowdfunding assets such as properties has happened a lot more. So there's really crowdfunding started in 2009 in a big way. And what people are now finally realizing is that, hang on a minute, I think we can do a better job ourselves with money rather than relying on the government. Does that make sense, everybody, or not? Yes. So my purpose has kind of changed that way because, yes, I do travel all over the world, I speak all over the world, but the Channel 4 thing was really, I'm going to show you the proof of that, because when I say I'm giving a house away, not many people believe it. In this country is the most skeptical country I ever visit. When you say you're doing something good, people want to chop you down. All right, so I'm going to prove to you that what I'm talking about Channel 4 is true, and also I'm going to show you the assets I've got, which is true, so you can get a kind of, you can feel safe in the fact that what I'm saying is the truth. Does that make sense or not? Yeah? The first thing I need to do is remove my jacket. You can scream, ladies, it's okay. Or men, I don't mind. I am omnisexual, I don't care. So there's lots of things I'm going to talk about. This is what we're giving away today. So this is pretty cool, right? Now this is a three-bedroom flat. It's fully furnished, double glazed, TV, carpets. You need carpets in England, apparently. Mortgage is paid off. Is anyone excited by that? Yeah. All right, so what happened was, I'll show you that when I announced I was giving that away about a year ago, it was part of a PR campaign, the launch of a new book. Got a lot of attention in the press. And then Channel 4 approached me in the summertime and said, listen, Marco, would you be interested in giving another house away? I said, what? I've just given one away already. You want me to give another one away? He said, yes, we want you to give you another one away, but we want to make a documentary called My Big Property Giveaway, a bit like Secret Millionaire, where you're able to help an underprivileged family or homeless people or people that really need it. I said, yeah, that sounds really interesting. So we filmed like a test film. I met the directors of Channel 4. Now we're filming the first episode. So I'll show you all the verification for that, which is a very exciting place to be. And I can tell you right now, the most humbling thing is meeting people that haven't got a home. So I've spent the last week with homeless people, food banks, shelters, And it's tragic. I mean, there's an unbelievable need out there that people don't see. For example, I was at a homeless shelter. I was with the volunteers, and we were driving around in his car picking the food up from the shops that they donate after they close. So we went to Greg's Bakery, Marks and Spencer's, and we picked all this food up. And I said to Tim, who was with in the car, I said, no one sees this. He said, you know what? No one sees it. It's like once the lights go out, everyone goes home because they've got their own problems. They don't see it. So I was doing this all week, and, I was really moved by what I was seeing. In fact, I was outside. In fact, the first day, I'll show you a picture in a minute. Get to that second. So the first day, I was holding that sign up through the town on my shoulders, all through Preston in Lancashire. And, of course, it was getting quite heavy. It was -5 as well. So I was getting all this attention. There were people coming up to me saying, is that true? That can't be true. No way, mate. You're having a laugh. It's all a big scam. Right? That's the most of the attitude I got. But it was good because we all got it on film. And to see that kind of attitude would actually it's actually real is really cool. So did that. So let's go back to where we need to start. So let's talk about... So can you all read that? So continuing about anti-establishment, did anyone here believe Brexit would happen?
No.
Maybe.
You believed it? You voted Brexit? Nice. Wow, someone admitted it, finally. So Brexit is really a manifest of really how people are feeling about the establishment. Then he had Donald Trump. No one believed he would get in power, hardly. He got in power. Okay, so all these things have happened. Now, one of the great things about being able to do what I do is I've spent the last 10 years really finding out why things happen economically, or why people vote for things, what's the feeling. So, I predicted Brexit 3 years ago, I predicted Donald Trump 18 months ago. Hardly anybody believed me. And I've been predicting housing cycles for the last 10 years, which have all come true. Hardly anybody believed me. But for my investors, they're very happy because they're able to understand and be educated to kind of figure out what's going to happen next. Yes?
But it was quite easy to predict because before Ireland...
Sorry, Brexit quite easy to predict?
No, yeah, it was quite easy because before that, Ireland voted no to nice agreement.
That's true, yes. However, Brexit was very 50-50, so, yeah.
Denmark voted no to...
Yes, so there was already people voting it, but people didn't see it really.
Many countries
Yeah.
voted no to the
But,
constitution.
yes. However, the expectation was quite shocking, wasn't it? Right. So, it says there, this is the best time to buy property in the UK for the last 50 years. Can anyone tell me what's happening to the UK property market right now?
It's been going up for a long time, and it's not reached kind of like reached an apex, and it's coming down.
It's coming down? Okay. Anyone else believe the same thing?
In London, it's
It's interesting to get your opinions, isn't it?
Properties are overpriced.
So I'm going to share some facts later that actually property is going up. And that Brexit is really a mid-term correction in a boom cycle. See, in a cycle in property, there are 3 parts of a cycle. There's a slump, there's a recovery, and there is a boom. So when you come on my boot camps and weekends and retreats, you learn what you learn from how I managed to find those things out. So you can actually pinpoint a cycle. Would that help you as an investor?
Yes.
Hello, Earth 2, where are we today? London, right? Would that help you as an investor?
Yes.
Okay, so now you have an opportunity, more so now, really any other time, because of Brexit, because of also the pound has gone down. Okay, so I'll show you later. So, this is my track record over the last year. 108 units, actually 125 now in the last year. £10 million worth of assets created, 40% worth of equity, all transactions completed by Field Fisher solicitors. There is the email of the lawyer for you to verify that. So what I need to know right now is there anybody in this room that has bought that many properties in the last year?
Yes, maybe.
If we crowdfund, then we can do it together, right? So would anyone like to do this? Yes or no? Again, I'm overwhelmed by the unbelievable response by that question. So, what I talk about is financial freedom. Who is interested in creating financial freedom in the next 24 months? Okay, so when I say that, again, there's a lot of skepticism around it, but basically this is the deal, guys. All I do is I teach people how to replace their salary with passive income from property so they don't have to work again and they can fire the boss. Would anyone here like to fire their boss? Or is your boss sitting next to you? Okay, so this is real, guys, and I'm telling you that if you adopt my blueprint, the worst case scenario is, even if you have no assets, is 24 months. Right? So there are some people in this room that can do it in 3 months. Wow. Yes, you can. But the question is, would you like to know how to do that or not? Yes. Right, so who are the best people to ask? Theresa May? Or people like me, because basically what you need to do is learn from people that have got what you want. Okay, so these are the 2017 strategies that you should be using to create income that is not from a job. Because the worst and most toxic income that you can have is from a job. Are we agreed on this or not agreed? Yes. It means that if you have to go to work on a Monday morning and work 8 hours a day if you're lucky and finish on Friday night and all you want to do is completely collapse, get away, have a sex party, whatever it comes to hand, right? Then obviously you're in the wrong place, because what you must do is understand that life is very short, and if you're not doing what you love, then you are screwed. And believe it or not, you can die at any time. You know, I'm aware that I'm basically 49 this year. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? When I tell people I'm nearly 50, they go, "What, really? I thought you were 75. No. What I'm saying is, when you get older, your mortality becomes an issue more. You tend to want to do things a little bit quicker. You eat your fish and chips a bit quicker because you think, hang on a minute, I might die after this fish and chips. Because apparently if you eat burnt toast, you could die tomorrow. So does everyone get what I'm saying, yeah? Cool. So, strategies for 2017. Number 1 is HMO. Is there anyone here that does not understand what a HMO is? Thank you, sir. You're looking at your phone, or you're looking at me? Yeah, I'm looking at you. You were Googling what the question was? I like it. You are multitasked. Very clever. So what? You never heard of an HMO? No. You never heard of HMO? Okay. A HMO is basically a technical term, house of multiple occupants, or basically multiple tenants in the same house. So you might have 3 or 4 tenants using the same house to live in. Does that happen in London? Are you in shared accommodation or you live on your own? With my family. You live with your family, okay. Anyone here in shared accommodation? You are? Well, that's great if you're not afraid to admit that. Why are you in shared accommodation?
Well, I just arrived in London, so that was the cheapest way.
Because it's cheaper, right? Because it's cheaper. Because if you rent a flat in London, central London, I don't know, that is 300 square feet, it's going to cost you £3,000. Right? So HMO is where the best passive income is to be made. Now, does anyone believe that you can also buy a HMO in other parts of the country apart from London? Yes or no? Yes. Right. So you can actually get a HMO in Manchester for about £100,000. Hello, Earth to London? Yes? Has anyone done that yet? No. So if you are able to buy a HMO, you are able to create a bigger income from the rental. Hello, Earth to London? So that means you can have a yield, or you can have, let's say you buy a place in Manchester for £100,000, you can get an income of about £600 to £700 a month. If you have a HMO flat, you can double it. Anyone interested in doing this or not? Right, so £100,000 will get you a 3-bedroom flat in Manchester. Good space. What would that get you in London? Huh? It would get you a deposit. It would get you what, sorry?
It would get you a box.
It would get you a box.
Yes, a box.
A box of what? Chocolates?
No, a cardboard box.
A cardboard box that you can live on the street with and have some padding from the pavement. Yes. So what you've got to do as an investor, and this day is about property, but it's also about how to get out of the rat race. Right? And I'm showing you the fastest ways to do it. Okay, so I can tell you the only properties I buy. Can anyone tell me? The only ones that I buy? Well, not necessarily HMOs, but basically first-time buyer houses. I'm only interested as an investor in first-time buyer houses. Can anyone tell me why?
It is attractive to clients.
Excuse me?
Attractive to clients.
Very attractive! Affordable houses. Because there is an enormous shortage of affordable houses in the UK. Now, if you want to quantify it, you're looking at millions. Even so, if I was to buy an affordable house, how much deposit would I need for my £100,000 flat? See, excuse me? 0.
5%.
So realistically, what we're talking about, guys, is the banks are wanting 20%. Now, you can talk about 5% deposits, 0% deposits, but they will look in every orifice to find out that you can afford to go ahead with that deal because the banks are not going to lend you. They may advertise it, but they very rarely give those deals out. So I'm telling you, realistically, you need 20% deposit, 20 grand. You need to pay your stamp duty. You need to pay your legal fees. You need to buy your furniture. So by the time you finish, it's costing you £30,000 for a deposit to buy a flat in Manchester. Is that affordable to first-time buyers? So, the next thing you have to learn how to do is to buy properties with a company. So, is there anybody in this room that owns a company? Congratulations. Why do you own companies?
Because it's
Tax purposes.
tax efficient.
Tax efficient. Why do you own a company? Okay, so the revelation is that you can acquire properties through a company. Is anyone interested in learning how to do that? Right. And you don't have to buy one property. You can buy multiple properties using multiple companies, and it's called an SPV, or special purpose vehicle. So I can tell you, but personally, every house I buy is through a company, either personally or through a joint venture. Now, would anyone like to learn how to joint venture so you can share the purchase instead of using it all yourself and be protected legally? Hello? You guys have not woken up this morning. I'm shouting my guts out.
We are in shock because the house.
You're in shock because of the free house. Well, you knew that before you came. You've been in shock a long time. You don't believe it, do you? You don't believe. You believe it a bit more now. Good. I like that. That means you like me a bit more. I like that. That's nice. You can stay longer. I'll give you the house. Okay? Right. Okay. So now she's excited. So you've got to learn how to buy with a company and be tax efficient. But don't think that by buying one house with a company, that's going to change your life. You're better off buying it in your own name. So everything is called scalability. But the most important thing is you've got to learn from people that have got what you want. Would you agree with me? Okay, so the next thing you need to learn is how to do a joint venture deal. Now, does anyone not know what a joint venture is? You don't know a lot of stuff. What happened to you? Where have you been living? That's why. This is why. Anyone else not know what a joint venture is? You don't know? What's your name, sir? Sir, are you... Sorry. You're not a man, right? I think you're definitely a girl. Wilfie, your name, ma'am? I-10. You are 10, you know? You're a bit older than that, aren't you? So, what was I going to say? Joint venture. Joint venture. So, a joint venture is where you find a property and you're able to ask the people you know, excuse me, would you like or be interested in sharing the cost of this property because I'm going to give you this return for sharing it. So therefore, it's better to have 50% of something and 100% of nothing. Are we making sense or not? Yes. That means if you have a house that's giving you £2,000 income, it's costing you 150 grand, it means that you can share the deposit. Who's interested in doing that? Yeah. Now let me put this in perspective into the reality of life. How would you get a joint venture on your own?
By talking to people.
By networking and knowing people.
You can put a sandwich board on yourself and you can walk down the high street and say, I'd like to buy a house with you. Would you like to buy a house with me? You can do that and then you'll be homeless eventually. Or you can put an advert in the Evening Standard and say, listen, I'm an investor, I'd like to buy a house with somebody, anyone interested? Do you think you'll get any phone calls? Why not? Because they don't know you, they don't trust you, they don't believe you. Right? So here's the deal, guys. You're probably wondering why I do these events, why I give houses away. Oh, I am so generous. I am generous.
Yep.
And I have a very big heart and I want to help. I do as much as I can to help people that are in great need of help. What I can also tell you is that all of my joint venture deals are from you guys. So I will speak to you for 8 hours today. No, really inside you're going, shit, 8 hours, really? Not staying that long. I saw your faces. What, 8 hours? You told me it was 2 hours. I have to wait 8 hours to think I've got a house yet? I'm not doing it. I have to give you some struggle, guys. Come on. Now, I'll talk about 6, 7 hours, something like that. And I'm going to be talking all day because I'm going to be able to earn your trust. So I will work my tail off to earn your trust. So eventually, you will invest with me in assets that you're able to benefit from. How does that sound? Yeah. Hello? Yeah. Right. Now, I do this for free. So I'm not charging you for this event. In fact, I had to give you a free house to get you to this event. Can you imagine how much this event is costing me? It's costing me like 200 grand to put this event on today. How many people can do that in the world? Not many. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I can tell you that from the audience I get today, generally the data suggests that 30% of you will sign up today. Half of you that sign up will buy something with me within 12 months. That's my track record. Now, some of you may be very scared when I say that. Signing up today? What the hell? I came for a free house. But yes, you will be compelled. Your body functions will change. You'll have no control over yourself. And you will physically walk over to the credit card machine and sign up, but you don't know what you're doing. Sorry?
Is that hypnotism?
There's no drugs, only me. I'm the drug. Okay? So I'm just telling you the truth, guys. Now, I have my family here today because my family normally comes with me to every event because my family also buys with me and my family loves being in this kind of environment, except one of my family who's very shy. So I'm going to introduce you to my family. It's not going to take long, don't worry, I don't have a big family. I've only got 2 children I know of. Rest I don't know about, all right? So can I have my mum to the front, please? Can I have Paige over? Can I have Saul Riker over? Give her a nice welcome. Now, which one is my mum? That's what you're supposed to say! Because she's got an influence on you getting the house, you see. No. This is my mum. She's 71 years old. She's a fantastic human being, and this week when we were filming with Channel 4 on Wednesday, Channel 4 came to my mum's house, which is not the biggest place to put a film crew in there, and we were talking about when she slept on a park bench with me when I was 3 in -5 winter. So she's been through a lot of stuff, had a very hard life. And one of the first things I did for my mum was buy her a house and buy her a Range Rover. Pretty cool, right? This is my daughter from another mother.
No.
Well, yeah, okay. This is that's your grandma.
I thought you were talking about the other kids.
No, I don't have any other kids, do I? This is my daughter who's 19. I am 19. He's 19, her name is Paige, and she works with me full-time now. Let's give her a nice welcome. At the end there is my son who said to me, I am not going to the front and meeting those people. He is 16 years old, and he is a racing driver. Are you not? Are you a racing driver?
I am a racing driver.
Please explain what that means to the audience.
Basically,
You drive around in circles. Bit like people in London.
I'm a professional car driver, racing around.
Shopping car?
Yeah. Race around England and Europe.
Tell them what you've achieved.
Basically.
Basically? Because I'm very shy, I'm going to use the word basically before I begin everything.
I don't know what to say.
Relax, chill out. Tell them what you've done. You've been to the World Championship, done all that, come on.
I've been to Spain, Italy, Singapore,
Have you won races?
quite a few, yeah.
Have you been in the World Championship?
3 times.
So, you want to be an F1 driver, is that right?
Yeah.
Right. Do you know how much it costs all to be an F1 driver?
Yeah.
So why do you think he's here today? So let me give you some economics of what he does now. Now remember, when I was a kid, would you be able to pay for me to go go-karting every weekend?
No.
No, because it cost me £3,000 a week. I'll show you the bills if you don't believe me. A lot of disbelief in this room. You have to verify everything I'm saying. It cost me £3,000 a week to be £150,000 a year for him to race a go-kart, not an F1 car. Now, the economics of F1 is the top 6 drivers get paid a salary. The rest of the drivers in F1 have to pay for a seat in a car by paying an average of £20 million in one season. Anyone surprised by that? Yeah, so that's what he wants to do. Unfortunately, I've got that responsibility. So I do a lot of hustling on his behalf. But you know what? The great thing about that is it gives me something, another purpose, if you like. Because when I go see him racing, when I can, because I'm normally doing this, when he's on the track and he's doing really well, I see my childhood through him. So that's a very emotional thing for me. And I probably enjoy it just as much as he enjoys it. What else, really? Do you want to say anything, Mum, while you're here? Have you got any questions for my mum? Or my son?
Or anyone else? Like me?
Or Paige, my daughter? You're not here. Disappear.
No, well, I'm here because I love to work with Marco. It always surprises me. There's so many things going on in his head. I just can't keep up sometimes. But I'm getting more involved in the business. Like, for instance, last week, he sent me an email and he said, got this flat and it needs to be refurbished in 5 days. Not personally, but I organised the refurbishment of the flat along with Paige. So it was new everything, new carpets, decoration everywhere, furnished, made to look very pretty.
That's cool, isn't it? She's 71 doing that. Not really. So thanks very much, guys. You're not so nervous now, right?
Yeah.
So public speaking, people are more afraid of public speaking than dying. So you've got over your fear today. Well done. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for coming to the front. So are you all good so far? Are you bored yet? You look bored. Is something wrong? Shall I bring in a lap dancer for you? Something like that, sir? Keep you entertained? Are you okay? Are you cool? Are you sure? What's your name? Solomon? Oh, my goodness, that's very religious. Are you kind of, from the Bible or something? Not exactly. A nice name. I like your name. So, but I'm not gay. Don't worry, okay? Just saying. Because if you give a guy a compliment these days, you get labelled by being a homosexual. Now, I've got nothing against her. A lot of my friends are gay. I've not tasted that, but, I'm just saying. So,